Alright, this is Bob from Virginia Cage Fighting Championships. I'm here with Team Ruthless. They decided they got another little message for their opponents here. So they got something to say. What you guys got to say?
For some reason, my friend here thinks that Jay Jenkins needs this for his fight. So I don't know why, but
I'm gonna give this to you, Jay, because I don't want your tits smacking me in my face while we fighting, bro.
You heard that?
And who you got there?
That's Quack, man. Look.
Alright, Virginia Cage Fighting Championships here again with Damien Smith. Damien, you recently left your team. I know you used to train with Paul Brown, Team Ruthless. Anything you want to say to Paul Brown?
Yeah, Paul, I want you after I'm done beating Ryan Gotto's head in, dude. Because I'm tired of you running your mouth. I'm going to show you what it is in the cage.
So you and Paul, apparently y'all had some sort of falling out. You're no longer with Team Ruthless. You know, you definitely want to fight him on the next show or possibly on a reality show.
Yep.
All right, anything you got to say to Paul?
No, because he really ain't worth my time. I'll just show him what it is when it comes time.
All right, Virginia Cage Fighting Championships here again with Damien Smith. All right, this is Bob. I'm back with Paul Brown. We're talking about, upcoming fights, Roanoke Rampage 2. But recently, Damien Smith issued a challenge to Paul Brown. Paul Brown, what is your reply to Damien Smith's challenge?
I'm going to decline, Bob. I'm going to decline. Not because I'm scared. He can say I'm scared, but I'm going to decline because I don't beat retards up. You know, I help charities. You know, I help the disabled. I'm not going to hit no disabled kid. Are you serious? Look at the way he talks. He needs to walk around with a bib, like catching his spit. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He's just like, it's weird. Look, the dude just walked out. Yeah, he left our team, you know, but it was for the best. He wouldn't stop drinking. He wouldn't stop smoking. He took one punch in practice and was like, I'm leaving here. He called my mama. He really called my mama, for real. And another reason is because in the cage, you know, I don't want to catch nothing. And I heard he's been making intercourse with a hippopotamus that and in a hotel room that some other guy paid for, which, dude, that ain't no skills, dog. You're gonna have to step your game up, get your swag on. That's crazy. But that's not the real reason. The real reason why I'm gonna fight him is because back when he was in high school, he beat his meat in ROTC class to some girl, and I wanna think of her name. I can't pronounce it, but if you ask Devin Johnson, he'll tell you exactly who it was. It was his ex-girlfriend. But I mean, that's pretty gross, man. That's like sex offender type stuff. They kicked him out of school forever for it, you know? I don't want to do that. You know, and he's so slow. He's like, Paul Brown. Oh, Paul Brown, I'm gonna bust your head. It sounds like Rocky Balboa in Rocky 5. You know what I'm saying? After all the fights happen, you know, he's fucking slow as fuck, man. I can't hit that dude. I can't fight him. I'm sorry.
Well, let me ask you this, Paul. Now, he did say that he was punched. He said it was kind of a sucker punch. He wasn't looking. You know, what is your reply to the sucker punch?
I guess he wasn't looking when David Collins hit him. And I guess he wasn't looking when Jay Jenkins beat his face off till he puked. Pop, 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 pop. Yeah, that's pretty bad when a guy whoops your ass so bad he pukes.
So let me ask you this. There's no chance of you fighting him ever?
Ever? No. Hell no. That should be a felony if somebody fought a retarded person, even if it is an illegal cage.
What if it was, and the doctors checked him out and it was on television?
Maybe if me and him were both sitting down on a bus with helmets on, the short bus, and I joined him in, like if I was in like an accident, trip, fell, smacked my face on the ground, went retarded, then I'd fight him, but I can't fight him now. I'm sorry.
Alright, this was Paul Brown's reply to Damien Smith. I hope to see everyone out at Roanoke Rampage 2. Alright, this is Bob from Virginia Cage Fighting Championships. I'm here with Damien Smith. Him and Paul Brown, their rivalry could not wait for the reality show, so they will be facing each other on August the 10th at Roanoke Rampage 2, William Byrd High School. So what, you saw Paul's video. What do you got to say to Paul Brown?
I mean, him calling me a retard and stuff, he can say what he wants, because I mean, he wants to talk about my fights. I went out there and won my first fight. He went out there and lost his first fight in 18 seconds and ain't got back in the cage since. Yeah, I lost against David Collins, but I took the fight on a day notice.
So what do you think about, you know, how do you think this fight's going to go? What do you plan on doing? What is your, you know, what do you think? What do you think the outcome of the fight's going to be?
Oh, I'm gonna win, hands down.
So are you looking for a knockout, or are you going to, you know?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna knock him out because he said he don't think I can hit.
All right. So your plan is to stand up with Paul.
Yep.
And you used to be a member of Team Ruthless. A lot of the guys are, you know, sort of not happy with you about, you know, switching teams or whatever. So anything you got to say about leaving Team Ruthless and what team you're on now?
I mean, if any of them have an issue, they can step up after Paul.
Well, you know, what team are you with now?
I'm with Legion.
All right. So how things training? Training's going good. Everything going well? All right. I appreciate it, Damien. Everybody check it out. Damien Smith versus Paul Brown, Roanoke Rampage 2. Alright, this is Bob from Virginia Cage Fighting Championships. I'm here with Paul Brown. He's going to be taking on his old training partner and buddy, Damien Smith. Paul, you saw Damien's video where he says he's going to knock you out. What all do you have to say about that?
Well, I mean, he said I lost to Quackenbush. That's cool, you know. But he did lose his fight with Jay Jenkins. He may have won, technically, because the guy puked from whipping his ass. But I mean, I'm not going to talk too much crap about Damien, but he's not going to win this fight. All these tickets, these are just for people who are coming just to watch me whip his ass. And, you know, I just hope he don't come in there swinging crazy like that at me, you know, like he did with Jay. And he said he fought David Collins on a day's notice, but he also told me, oh, I'm going to tear this guy up and everything. And got knocked out. And you know, treason, he was on our team and he just switched to Team Legion. And you know, treason in America, that's a highly offense. But you know, if you trade teams from Ruthless to Legion, you know, that's just punishable by ass whipping in the cage. I see it. So when I catch him, I mean, he can stay on Team Legion, but don't ever go to a fight by yourself because none of them's going to come with you. I mean, they left us and we had to buy their fighter a mouthpiece, compression shorts, a cup, and everything. Like, God, we had to buy his cage, man. So, I mean, man, if they can't even come and support their own teammate, I mean, they're more of a gang than they are a team, for real. I mean, look at Damien. He's got black eyes. They done blacked his eyes up, swole his face up in the pictures. And they even said, man, they took it hard on him to see if he could take it. Man, what'd you do? Beat him into Team Legion? That was messed up, but it's cool. See you August 10th.
So this is team versus team, Team Ruthless versus Team Legion. You got 3 of your members fighting 3 of theirs. How do you see that going? Who do you know? How do you see that going? Clean sweep or?
Clean sweep, easy money, free trophy.
All right. Anything else you want to say? You got anything yet to say, Paul?
Nope.
All right. August the 10th, William Byrd High School. It's going to be team versus team, Team Ruthless versus Team Legion. Damien Smith versus Paul Brown. All right, so here we have the fight. Damien Smith versus downtown Paul Brown. As I get started, you see them touch gloves. I'm a little bit surprised about that because of all the junk they were talking. If someone was talking about me masturbating in school, I probably wouldn't touch his gloves. But here we go. Some crazy haymakers here. Then you see some short, like rabbit-style punches from Damien Smith. Damien gets him in what looks like almost like a front choke, but then he's clinching with him, a little dirty boxing, some short shots. Paul Brown wraps him up with a headlock here, and then he's looking to throw him, it looks like, but they sort of back up here and then resume the stand-up battle that they had started earlier. So Paul looking a little light on his feet, kind of baiting him in, trying to get him to come close. Damien closes the distance and winds up here, basically with another front headlock. Paul throws him off, back to the stand-up game. You look there, Paul Brown is swinging some pretty good shots in. Damien with a good knee there. Paul had been training a little bit with Fight to Live and Matt Hogan during this time period. Of course, Damien was training with Kane and Team Legion. Damien gets the mount, and a couple of little shots here. I think that Paul Brown was a little bit more fatigued. I tell you, when you have these grudge matches, you wind up definitely expending a lot of emotion and energy even before the fight starts. Damien gets the win. And it's he wants to shake his hand. Paul does shake his hand. One of the weirdest things is you would see that good sportsmanship, but even after the fight, Damien was claiming that Paul crapped his pants during the fight. So the fight, even though it ended there, and it should have been the end of their beef and end of their sort of rivalry, Paul Brown definitely had to hear about, Damien say he crapped his pants. But to be honest, I don't know if that happened. I don't think it happened, and most people would agree that that was just talk after the fight. To the winner goes the spoils, and here we have our lovely cage girl April. Damien obviously trained pretty hard for that fight with Team Legion. Paul looked really good. Paul Brown looked good till the end. But there's your winner, Damien Smith, TKO, referee stoppage due to strikes. And that's the end of that rivalry.